evaluation usually deals with the learner's performance in terms of mastery or non-mastery of some program objective. When current performance is measured versus desired performance by use of testing, using both quantitative and qualitative criteria. There exist different approaches to evaluation, including product-oriented, or the summative evaluation, and or process-oriented, or formative evaluation. So when we say evaluation, yung yan ay evaluate natin yung progress at saka kung ano yung na-trade na ng sambahan. So next, so i-discuss ko formative evaluation, summative evaluation, product evaluation, and process evaluation. So dito muna tayo sa formative evaluation. So when we say formative evaluation, what is it? Yes, Joy.
Okay. Formative evaluation, or sometimes referred to as internal, is typically conducted during the development or improvement of a program or product. And it is conducted often more than once for entire stop of the program with the intent to improve. The reports normally remain in-house, with serious formative evaluation being done by an internal or external evaluator, or preferably a company. Of course, when the program staffs are, in an informal sense, constantly doing formative evaluation. Formative evaluation is conducted to provide program staff evaluative information useful in the implementation of the program.
So the purpose of formative evaluation is to ensure that the goals of the instruction are being achieved and to improve the instruction. If necessary, by means of identification and subsequent integration of formative aspects. So dito sa formative evaluation, na-evaluate kung na-improve pa yung instruction or na-achieve niya. So formative assessment helps teachers determine next steps during the learning process as the instruction approaches the summative assessment of student learning. So students need to involve both assessors of their own learning and as resources to other students. There are numerous strategies teachers can implement to engage students. In fact, research shows that the involvement in and ownership of their work increases students' motivation to learn. This does not include the absence of teacher involvement. To the contrary, teachers are critical in identifying learning goals, setting clear criteria for success, and designing assessment tasks that provide evidence of the student's learning. So, yung kapag sinabing formative assessment, it is an internal. So, one of the key components of engaging students in the assessment of their own learning is providing them with descriptive feedback as they learn. So, importante na binibigyan ng descriptive feedback yung student para alam nila kung saan sila kailangan mag-progress or saan yung weaknesses and strength nila. So, in fact, research shows descriptive feedback to be the most significant instructional strategy to move students forward in their learning. Descriptive feedback provides students with an understanding of what they are doing well, links to classroom learning, and gives specific input on how to reach the next step in the learning progression. In other words, descriptive feedback is not a great, sticker, or good job. A significant body of research indicates that such limited feedback does not improve the students' learning. So next, sino po gusto magbasa?
There are many classroom instructional strategies that are part of the repertoire of good teaching. Good teaching is self-instructional practice. Gathering information and student learning, they are applying this information in a formative way. In this sense, formative assessment, pedagogy, and learning cannot be separated from instruction. And it's what good teachers know. The distinction lies in what is actually with the information they gather. How is it being used for how is it being shared with education? Not teachers just collecting information or data on students' learning. That's what they do with the information they collect.
So there are instructional strategies that can be used formatively. So ito yung mga strategies that can be used formative or para ma-evaluate yung performance ng isang student So, some of the instructional strategies that can be used formatively include the following. So, the first one is the criteria in goal setting. When students engage them in instruction in the learning process by creating clear expectations. In order to be successful, students need to understand the learning target goal and the criteria for reaching it. So, sa umpisa pa lang ng ang topic or ng klase, of course, kailangan malaman ng estudyante kung ano yung dapat nila, parang objectives, learning objectives. At the end of the discussion daw, ito yung dapat nilang ma-reach or malaman. So next, observations. Go beyond walking around the room to see if the students are on task or make clarification. Observations assist teachers in gathering evidence of student learning to inform instructional planning. This evidence can be recorded and used as feedback for students about their learning or as anecdotal data shared with them during conferences. So yun nga ang magandang isang way to observe or evaluate yung performance ng isang bata is through observation. So dito makikita kung yung estudyante ba ang nakakasabay or as a teacher, malalaman mo din kung saan part ka dapat, saan mo dapat baguhin yung yung strategy mo or pedagogy para lang yung estudyante nakakasabay. Magkaroon ng problem. Next, question and strategy. Who wants to be? Yes, Tanya. Tanya.
Questioning strategy should be embedded in lesson unit planning. Asking better questions allows an opportunity for deeper thinking and provides teachers with significant insight into the degree and depth of understanding. Questions of this nature engage students in classroom dialogue that both uncovers and expands learning.
Gusto yun, yung mahalaga yung question and strategies. Kasi yun, tatanungin mo yung estudyante mo about sa mga natutunan nila or para malaman mo din kung hanggang saan yung natutunan nila. So next is the self-entry assessment. Helps to create a learning community within a classroom. Students who can reflect while engaged in meta-cognitive thinking are involved in their learning. When students have been involved in criteria and goal setting, self-evaluation is a logical step in the learning process. In evaluation, students see each other as resources for understanding and checking for quality work against previously established criteria. So yun na sa pag-evaluate nilang individual or pwede rin siya maging group ng individual or peer assessment. So next is the last one, strategy for formative evaluation is that student record. Keeping helps students better understand their own learning as evidenced by their classroom work. This process of students keeping ongoing records of their work not only engages students, it also helps them beyond a grade to see where they started and the progress they are making toward their learning goal. So dun sa student record, nandun yung mga activities, lahat na simula hanggang dulo. So makikita doon ng estudyante yung progress nila and kung na-attain ba nila yung goal or yung sinet-note na parang ng criteria. So next naman nga is the summative evaluation. Summative evaluation sometimes referred to as external. So kanina formative evaluation is internal. Ngayon naman, summative, it is referred to as external. It is popularly called assessment, grading, marking, or testing. The purpose according to Ham, Leyens, and Hesley is to inform the teacher, the learner, and often others as precisely as possible. How far the learner has progressed requires control over the written language. Summative evaluation provides information on the program's efficacy or its ability to do what was designed to do. For example, if the learners learn what they were supposed to learn after using the instructional tool, in a sense, it lets the learner know how they did, but more importantly, by looking at how the learners did, it helps you know whether the product reaches what it's supposed to do. So kung sa formative assessment, parang ang evaluation siya dun sa process. Pag summative naman, natutunan ng bata, ng estudyante. So, summative assessment at the classroom level is an accountability measure that is generally used as part of the grading process. So, here are some examples of summative assessment. So, yung first one is the statement assessment. So when we say state assessment, used to evaluate students' mastery. When children take the state assessment, it indicates how much they know about a specific grade content. So, state assessments are designed to see how well the curriculum is preparing them for the next level. In other words, the state assessment answers how well is this child able to understand and apply the content learning. So, the next one is the interim assessment. So, dito naman sa interim assessment na may measure niya yung students' growth, identify patterns in your students' learning habits, and see your students' progress toward crucial milestones. And the next one is the end of unit or chapter test. Yun nga kapag end of unit, parang end of semester, may mga tests. The next, end of term or semester exams. Yun. So yun, di ba, yung summative assessment, yun nga, yung mga semester exams na ginagawa natin doon, nakikita ko, doon sa process ng formative, nakikita ko, natutuwa sila. Or kung ano yung scores that, so next, last, is the scores that are used for accountability for school and students report card grades. So yun nga, part din pala ng summative assessment, yung doon na sa ano yung nila sa report card nila. So, we can also distinguish between formative and summative evaluation. This is as seen in the table below. So, formative versus summative evaluation. So, dito sa formative, primarily prospective. So, when we say primarily prospective is relating to or effective in the future and likely to come about. Pag sinabi namang retrospective, looking back, parang kapag prospective, parang yung tinitignan mo yung future, parang gano'n. Tapos kapag sa looking back naman, pabalik. So, sa formative analyzes the strengths and weaknesses towards improving. Di ba pag formative kasi, process yun? So, nakikita mo yung weaknesses and strengths towards improving. Tapos pag sa summative naman, documents, achievements, since, di ba sa exams, gano'n, develops habits, while sa summative is documents habits. Ganun din na nakikita natin yung mga lahat ng mga student record, yung mga ginawa nila. And sa formative, shape direction of professional development, and the summative show results of such foray, and opportunity to reflect on meaning of past achievements. Tapos sa summative naman, evidence of regular formative evaluation. And sa formative feedback, since diba kapag sa evaluation ng formative, sinasabi doon ng teacher yung mga feedback nila para mag-improve yung students. While sa summative, yun yung evidence kung may progress or not pa yung isang bata. So, next naman is the process evaluation. So, when we say process evaluation, addresses how a project was conducted in terms of consistency with the stated plan of action and the effectiveness of the various activities within the plan. So, yun nga, process evaluation yung process. Nakikita din yung process evaluation. Addresses how a project was conducted in terms of consistency with the stated plan of action. So, why is process evaluation important? Sino gusto magbasa pa? Yes, so, process evaluation is important to determine the extent to which the program is being implemented. So yun nga, process evaluation to determine the extent to which the program is being implemented. Diba kung din ba sa process, yun ba yung na-implement ba siya according sa plan na sa atin nyo? And to assist and document the degree of fidelity and variability in program implementation, expected or unexpected plan or unplanned. So next, to compare multiple sites with respect of activity, to provide quality for the relationship between the intervention and the outcomes, to provide information on what components of the intervention are responsible for outcomes, to understand the relationship between program context and program processes, and to provide managers feedback on the quality of implementation, to refine delivery components, to provide program accountability to sponsors, to clients and funders, and to improve the quality of the program as well. outcome in the cost incurred for a program offering. This also involves predicting the outcomes to be specified objectives and considering both positive and unintended outcomes. So yung kanina ko sa process, di ba i-evaluate ko yung process kung paano ginawa. Hindi ko naman yung product evaluation is yung ano na parang yun nga yung natapos na outcome ng isang program. So that's all for my insights. For your types of evaluation. So various types of evaluation play crucial roles in assessing different aspects of learning and development. Each type serves unique purposes contributing to the overall improvement of educational programs and individual progress. It is essential to carefully select and integrate these evaluations to create a comprehensive and effective assessment strategy tailored to specific educational goals and objectives. So that's all po. Yung next is i-report consideration of i-report to them.